Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to a very special episode of Sky is the Limit. I'm your host, Umar Khalid Bhatt. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "For once you've tasted flight, you will always walk the earth with your eyes turned skywards, because there you have been and there you will return." I'm here at the Noor Khan Air Base in Rawalpindi, and of course, we are going to cover the Pakistan Air Force. This is the month of September, a very auspicious month because we've got the Defence Day on the 6th and the Air Force Day on the 7th of September. We are focusing on a very special squadron, that is the number 6 squadron of the Pakistan Air Force. Its different modalities, its different functions, vision, what it does, how it has helped the Pakistan Armed Forces and the Pakistan Air Force in different combat missions, and how it has earned a name for itself nationally and internationally. This is what we will be aiming at, and of course, for a squadron such as the number 6 squadron, sky is not even the limit. Stay tuned right here. Now, after attending the daily briefing that talks about the Met service and other issues related to the day and the Air Force, especially the 6th Squadron and the 35 Wing, which is composed of the different other squadrons apart from the 6th Squadron, we came here to have breakfast and a little chit-chat with the different officers and the other Jawans of the Pakistan Air Force who were here, to ask them about their experience and how they feel being part of such an important organization. We've now been joined by Wing Commander Arshad Khattak for a conversation about what drives him to be an officer in the Pakistan Air Force and what drove him to be part of it. Arshad Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. Arshad Saab, it's been a couple of years that you've been part of the Pakistan Air Force. When you joined the Air Force, what was the main driving force behind it?
Well, like every young kid, you have this passion for flying and flying like a bird in air. So it is the main reason that drove me to join Pakistan Air Force, serve the nation and serve my people.
Once you joined the Pakistan Air Force, that was around 15 years back. In those 15 years, what have you seen? How have you evolved as a person and as a professional?
Well, Pakistan Air Force does not make you only a pilot. It grooms you to be an officer and a human being, and someone who is a part of this nation, who wants to serve this nation. And I have grown a lot just because being in Pakistan Air Force. It has taught me a lot, and today whatever I am because of Pakistan Air Force.
Arshad Saab, there is a professional life and then there's a personal life. You have a family as well that you take care of. How do you manage both your lives?
Well, it's quite difficult, especially in our type of flying that we carry is like we do not have any specific flying timings. There can be times when we have to launch our mission early in the morning, and there may be times when we have to fly late at night, and at times we fly at a stretch of 10 hours, more than 10 hours in a single go. So we have to balance it out with our families, and our families know that we are doing a greater cause, we are doing something for our nation. So they support us fully, and we are happy that our families know that we are doing something which is
so important for the country, important for the nation, important for the Pakistan Air Force as well. Now, Arshad Saab, you talk about challenges. Speaking of challenges, you talk about being in the air for 10 consecutive hours, sometimes in the dead of night, sometimes you have to do sorties at places that are very difficult to go to. These challenges, how do you overcome them when you're actually in a situation like that? What drives you to do it at your perfection?
Okay, perfection cannot be achieved merely by just thinking about it. you have to do a lot of practice, preparation on ground. It is required, and once this preparation on ground is done in a thorough manner, it is going to help us, and it helps us in achieving those difficult missions that we carry.
What I was talking about, Arshad Saab, was you've talked about different difficult terrains that you've been to, the different challenges that you've overcome. How does it feel when you were actually flying such a mission?
It feels very thrilling, full of thrill. And one such incident was that we flew in pitch dark night. We went into our northern areas, flew the aircraft without any lighting facilities available, and landed at one of our airfields which did not have night landing facilities, and we carried out this mission in complete secrecy and pitch dark.
All right, brilliant. That was Wing Commander Arshad. And now we've been joined by Squadron Leader Murtaza Ali Shigri. Shigri Saab, how many years have you been in the Pakistan Air Force?
It's been about 10 years now.
All right, and what was the main inclination to join the Air Force?
Well, the biggest motivation for me was my father. He too was in Air Force. He was Air Commodore Shigri.
All right.
In 2007, basically, he got into a car accident, and basically he earned a lot of respect in the Air Force, and he's not only my icon, but icon for many officers in Air Force who are presently serving.
All right.
So the biggest motivation was him, of course, and then basically the pushing force was my mother. After his accident, she was the one basically who pushed me to join the Air Force.
All right.
From the start, I had this passion, but again, due to some reason, I couldn't join the Air Force at first. But then, after applying for the Air Force, I got selected, and in 2008, I reported to the academy.
All right. How has the evolution been, Murtaza, in these 10 years? How do you feel you've evolved as a professional?
Well, I think the basic personality qualities, that is the same, of course, but then Air Force polishes you a lot. If I compare myself from myself in 2008 when I joined the academy and now, there's a huge difference.
All right.
All the personality traits, starting from communication skills, professionalism, and all the other qualities that a successful professional and human being should have. I think all of those qualities have been polished a lot.
Murtaza, when was your first solo flight, and how was the experience like for you?
Well, my first solo was back in 2010, and I must say that it's an experience that is unforgettable, and it definitely makes all the rough time that you've gone through in the academy worthwhile.
All right. Well, wonderful. That was Murtaza Ali Shigri for you guys. Now, continuing with the discussions with different officers in the crew room of the Noor Khan Air Base, we've been joined by Flying Officer Aqsa Nawaz. Aqsa, how does it feel being part of the Pakistan Air Force?
Well, it's a very proud feeling for me to be a part of Pakistan Air Force. It was my father's wish, and now once I am here, I realize that this is the best and quite unique profession.
Part of the Air Force, do you ever feel differentiated being a woman?
During training, we are always trained equal to the male counterparts, and there is no difference in our training.
And now we've been joined by Squadron Leader Nadia Gul. Nadia, I can see there are different badges that you have on your uniform. Could you tell us a little bit about, especially the one on your right arm?
Okay, this is the President's Aircrew badge, and the squadron that I'm flying in is number 12 Squadron, which shoulders the responsibility of flying the VIPs and high officials of the country. So it's a feeling of great pride, and since the squadron has also the honor of flying the founder of the Pakistan, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that's why we wear this badge.
How does it feel when you fly the VIPs, including the President of Pakistan?
It's a feeling of great pride, and we really enjoy flying the VIPs, and also it has a great responsibility on our shoulders.
All right. While being trained at the Pakistan Air Force, have you at any moment of time felt differentiated being a woman?
No, there was no such difference, and our training was conducted on the same standards as the male counterparts were. The equal number of missions were carried out by us as equal to the male counterparts, so there was no such difference.
When you fly an aircraft such as the C-130, that is a huge aircraft, and we see you at any moment of time. Do you feel, I wouldn't say afraid, but do you tense while flying a huge aircraft such as a C-130?
No, there is no such kind of tension feeling or all that because our training standards are so high that we are being trained to counter any such situation which occurs during flying. So the flying operations that we carry out, they are very unique in nature because it includes the NVGs, the aerial drops, the paratrooping and all that. So we are being trained on same standards.
Nadia, is flying a profession or a passion for you?
Okay, it's a passion for me, and I must say that only Air Force is the only arm which has given opportunity to the females to serve in the mainstream of the Air Force. So it's very good experience.
All right. Thank you, Nadia. And now in the esteemed company of the Officer Commanding Number 6 Squadron Wing Commander Nisar Nabi. Nisar Nabi sir, thank you very much to give us the time, because I know that a lot goes on in the number 6 Squadron. Tell us, what is the number 6 Squadron?
Okay, number 6 Squadron is the oldest squadron of Pakistan Air Force. It was established before partition in 1942. It was raised by Royal Air Force itself to fight in Second World War, and it was the first squadron to be inducted to Pakistan in 1947.
All right. So it has a very rich history. Of course, we'll be talking later in the show about the history and how its role has been in the different wars that we fought in 1965 and 71. Let's talk about yourself. How many years has it been for you in the Pakistan Air Force?
Okay, I joined PF College Sargodha in 1992, and later on in 1997 I joined Pakistan Air Force. So it's been 21 years, almost 21 years since I'm in Pakistan Air Force.
All right, you're the officer commanding since February this year, but you've had a very illustrious career in the Pakistan Air Force. In all these years, what have been the highs?
Okay, I did my flight instructor's course in 2008, and I topped that course. I stood first in that course, and I have been posted to Nigeria because in Pakistan we go to different allied countries to train their pilots. So presently all Nigerian Air Force C-130 pilots are my student, are my personal student. I've trained their C-130 fleet.
All right, that's brilliant. I mean, you've made a name for yourself internationally, and people remember you and recognize you through that. Not only that, you've gotten a lot of medals. You've got the Tamgha Bisalat, you've got the Tamgha Defy Siachin as well. What do these Tamghas represent to you?
Okay, it's a great honor to achieve these gallantry awards. Tamgha Bisalat is a gallantry award, and I'm very lucky to be bestowed by this medal. I got this medal for performance in war against terrorism, because you have seen our transport fleet are now equipped with intelligence services, surveillance and reconnaissance role. So we participated in these operations. For those operations I was commended for Tamgha Bisalat.
All right. Speaking of the operation you talked about, Zarb-e-Azb, the role of the Pakistan Air Force has been very important in the two operations that were against the terrorism in Pakistan. How do you feel the Pakistan Air Force has contributed to removing, eliminating terrorism, extremism from Pakistan?
Pakistan Air Force has a very positive role in these operations. And what I tell you, because these ISR platforms were the game changers. We give the reconnaissance and intelligence information to our ground troops fighting on the ground. Plus, we also do the fighter integrated missions. Our basic aim is to minimize casualties and the friendly casualties. So we operate on zero collateral damage. So that was the basic game changer, because once you avoid the friendly people, you avoid, we cannot afford to lose our unarmed personnel or friendly civilians. So the C-130 played the vital role in those operations.
One of the roles of the number 6 Squadron is paratrooping training as well. How do you undergo that?
We have set procedures, set guidelines. So after certain experience, we put up the pilots for those paratrooping missions. And basically once we go for those missions, there are different types of paratrooping missions, high level, low altitude. We open our aircraft in the air to do these missions. And in those paratrooping missions, one is the very critical mission, that is Paju drop mission. We carry out in the base of K2 mountain to support our Siachen troops there. And those missions are flown in the valley with mountains above 20,000 feet left and right. We descend in the valley and the drop zone is about 12,000 feet high. And we need very accurate drop there, because if you drop little early, you'll drop in the crevices of glacier, and if you drop late, the load will go into the river. So you have to be pinpoint accurate to drop the load at the correct place, and those load go to the Siachen troops, because if we don't carry with our aircraft, it will take ages to transport it, because there's no proper road and things like that to support our troops on ground.
Already. The Pakistan Air Force is always on the front line when it comes to any operation, or even in case of a war. You're the first to go in any such situation. How do you prepare yourself mentally and physically for this?
Okay, this is our basic slogan, that first in, last out. And we are very proud to carry these slogans across the globe, may it be peacetime, may it be wartime. We are first to go in, like it may be some calamity, a disaster, a relief mission. So we would be the first persons to go there carrying humanitarian aid, carrying hospitals, doctors, and after wind up of everything, we are last to come out. Likewise, in war scenario or a tactical theater, we would be first to deploy our troops there to carry out the fighter support element before even the war begins. And after it finishes, we would be the last one to wind up everything and come back. And in day to day, we are always in operations, may it be peacetime operations or the wartime or tactical operations.
I've heard there are sometimes 400 to 500 sorties per day of the aircraft.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes, because C-130 is versatile aircraft, and this squadron has versatile role. We do peacetime missions, we do wartime missions. Our aircraft do paratrooping, aerial drops missions. We carry out northern areas, valley flying. We can even land on unpaved areas. We don't need proper runways to land. We can modify our aircraft into ambulance role. We have modified our aircraft into the reconnaissance that I've already talked about. So our engineers keep changing our aircraft, and we keep adapting to our new roles.
Okay. Sir, the Pakistan Air Force normally has a very hectic day-to-day routine, about 400 to 500 sorties per day. That is not possible without the number 6 Squadron. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, the PF flies a lot of sorties, and we are the basic backbone or support element for those sorties. Like we carry ammunition from one place to another for their training, for their operational purposes. And like I'll give you example, maybe one aircraft gets down because of some engine problem or something. So we would be immediately we'll carry that engine from the factory to that base, provide them the serviceable engine, take the faulty engine back to the factory to get it repaired. Likewise, if there are troops movement or anything, we are there to support those operations. So when PF is flying such a high number of sorties, we have to be on toes to provide them the backbone or the support so that they can continue to carry out those number of sorties every day.
Sir, I've heard you're flying 2 different kinds of aircraft, so would you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, besides C-130, the main workhorse, we also flying CASA CN-235 aircraft. It's basically a tactical transport aircraft, but little smaller as compared to C-130. And we basically use it in hub and spoke operation, like short hops, and it augments our basic C-130 fleets.
All right, great. The number 6 Squadron has a very rich history. We can see it through the flag that is right behind us. That shows a little bit of that. We can see Kashmir 1965, Indo-Pak War 1965, and all of that. To talk about that, you've got a history room as well.
Yes, I'll take you to the history room, but before, let me just give you a brief description of our flag. This is our squadron color, and the history is that we were number 6 squadron was the first squadron in Pakistan Air Force to receive this squadron color, and we have maximum occasion for which we were bestowed this color. We have this color is for 1948 Kashmir operations, 1965 Kashmir operations, 1965 war, and 1971 war. So maximum number of color any squadron in Pakistan Air Force has is number 6 squadron.
All right,
and we
so
were the first ones also.
that's
So now
brilliant.
let me take you to the history room. So this is the main gallery of number 6 squadron. Towards left you can see arrow-wise photographs of number 6 squadron. He is the first officer commanding Meher Singh in 1942, and this is the picture of Quaid-e-Azam, the founder of Pakistan. We carried him in Douglas Dakota aircraft.
All right.
So this is the picture taken once Quaid came out of the aircraft.
All right. In all of these pictures, there are also the pictures of different wars that happened, and I can see on the right side, if I'm not wrong, we've gotten Mr. Hall, and his role in the 1965 war has been very important. Could you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah. This side is all the squadron commanders of number 6 squadron. Wing Commander Eric Hall commanded this squadron from 1952 to 56, and later on he moved to the post of base commander.
Right.
Once he was base commander, Pakistan went into war with India in 1965. I'll show you a few pictures inside the history room also. So it was his idea, because Pakistan needed a heavy bomber. So it was his idea to modify the aircraft into a bomber aircraft.
All right.
And I'll just show you what we did.
The role of C-130s in the number 6 squadron has been very important in saving Lahore in the 1965 war.
You are very right. The C-130s conducted the successful bombing missions to stop the enemy movement towards the Lahore, and the first mission was on Kathua Bridge. And later on, there were about 17 to 18 missions across the border, which number 6 squadron undertook, and we were the unsung heroes, you can say. We were the pivotal role in success of that war.
They always say that when you conduct such an operation with a C-130, it's like conducting a suicidal mission. You don't know how it's going to end up. But mashallah, most of the time, it has always brilliantly ended up, and you've been successful. And for that, you've gotten a lot of medals as a reward as well from the government.
Yes. A lot of our air crew on those missions got the gallantry awards, because they say it was the one-way mission, because C-130 is not a fighter aircraft and it could not defend itself. So it was just one-way mission, go there and bomb the target, and return back was not confirmed. And for those gallantry missions and the daring missions, the air crew got the gallantry awards.
All right. Now, in the 1965 war, the 1971 war, and then of course come the explosions, the nuclear explosions that Pakistan conducted. Therein also the number 6 squadron had a very important role in taking to and forth the men and equipment.
You're very right. We have been engaged in all operations in 1965 war, in 1971 war, and for the nuclear test, and then Kargil operations. So we were there every time, because as I've already talked, we were the first in and last out. So wherever nation called us, we were there. And just a way back, I would just tell you that after 65 bombing mission, I guess US took our lead and made the attack C-130. It was manufactured in 67 or 68 after our bombing mission. Before that, nobody had the concept of transforming a C-130 into a bomber.
Also, you talked about the Kargil operation where the C-130s were used and number 6 squadron was used, but also later in other very important missions you've been used, the Operation Sentinel for one. You've been called one of the hallmarks of the Operation Sentinel.
Yeah, I'll just show you another shield. This shield was presented to us by the Air Chief Marshal Musaf Ali Mead for Op Sentinel, and he commended us as battle winners. And the remarks were an outstanding achievement made by our PF-based Chaklala personnel doing Ops Al-Mizan and Ops Sentinel. You were the battle winners. We salute your dedication and professionalism.
All right. What has been, sir, over all these decades, the vision and the mission of the number 6 squadron?
The vision has been, whenever nation call, you have to be there. That's our mission. We can't shy away from our duties. We are first to go in, last to come out.
Anytime, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere. That's it. That's it.
All right, that's great, sir. So the number 6 Squadron has also participated in many international events. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And you've also won a lot of awards in that.
Yeah, number 6 Squadron has been participating in different international events, maybe US, maybe UK. So there's a show in the United Kingdom, RIAT, Royal International Air Tattoo. It's one of the biggest air show in the world. So we have participated in that event 3 times. The first participation of Pakistan in RIAT was in 2006, where we won 3 trophies. The center one is that trophy which we won in the RIAT 2006. The next our appearance in RIAT was in 2016. Again we won 2 trophies. And this year also in 2018 we come up winners of a trophy amongst 300 plus aircraft.
All right. When you talk of these trophies, there's a lot of involvement of the number 6 Squadron, and they have to be trained in a proper manner, and they have to maneuver the aircrafts in a proper manner. How much of that training is apart from the normal training of your number 6 Squadron?
It's a routine training.
How are you always prepared 24/7 for that?
Yeah, we have to remain available and prepared all the time, because we are here wearing uniform to defend our homeland, and we cannot sleep. The motto of Pakistan is, you can say, sleep tight, Pakistan Air Force is awake, and that's the reason we stay awake, so that our people can rest properly.
All right. Sleep tight, Pakistan, because the Pakistan Air Force is awake. This is how we can rest assured on our forces such as the Pakistan Air Force. The show continues. Stay tuned right here on PTV World. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Well, whether it drizzles or whether it snows, it never stops the resolve and the work of the Pakistan Air Force. Here we've got 5 of the Air Force officials who are out on a mission, going on a mission. Let's ask them where they're going and what is their objective. Shigri Saab, Murtaza Ali Shigri, in fact, your whole name. Where are you guys going?
Sir, we are presently going on a security mission overhead. It's called an ISR mission.
And what does ISR exactly mean?
ISR basically means intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and it is basically a fundamental requirement for all military organizations. Intelligence meaning you basically collect general intel. Surveillance is observing general area, and once you say reconnaissance, it is basically a military observation of some specific target basically.
All right. And is it one of the main objectives of the number 6 Squadron to carry out ISR missions?
Again, number 6 Squadron, since it has played a pivotal, vital role in Zarb-e-Azab as well, and it is again very important role that number 6 Squadron is playing once it is carrying out the ISR missions.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Shugri Saab. All right, so we're here with Wali. Wali, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the role that you play in the ISR.
Sir, I'm Flight Leader Hamza Wali Khan. So my role as a co-pilot in the aircraft is I'm basically here to assist the captain of the aircraft, and in case anything happens to the captain, I'm to take over the controls and fly back home safely, and that's all.
How many ISR missions have you flown?
So I've flown over like 150 missions, ISR missions, and each missions last like 4 to 5 hours minimum. That's
all
how we do it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the role that you play in the ISR?
Sure, sir. Sir, I'm Flight Lieutenant Durab Ghani, and I'm a navigator on 730. I'm in number 6 Squadron for last 2.5 years. And role of ISR as a navigator. Sir, earlier the role of navigator in 730, it was the basic definition of navigation. It was just to ensure the safe conduct of flight from one destination to another, to assist the pilots and to ensure the safety of the aircraft in any case, be it weather or be it any other emergency. But with the induct of this ISR missions for the last around 10 years, the navigator is the key person who is the payload operator as well. And I'm the man, and all the navigators who are here as C-130 operators, they are the persons who are operating the payload that is installed in C-130 for the purpose of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, that is ISR.
All right. How much of training and how intense is your training to become a reconnaissance person?
Sir, regarding the training, first of all, we have to qualify as a navigator. We have to be get graduated from the transport conversion school as a navigator, and that is around 1 year course. After that, sir, we get posted to Squadron, and in Squadron we have to fly 400 hours as a non-operational navigator, and afterwards we get our operational category, and I can go on independently on any ISR mission. So we have to fly at least 400 hours, and that is a lot of flying actually.
Of course, that is a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
flying. Thank you very much, Durab.
Sir, welcome.
And now we've got one of the technical staff that works on the aircraft as well. Could you tell us your name and what your job is in the aircraft?
My name is Senior Tech Wasim Hassan Abbasi, and I am the flight engineer of this aircraft. And my basic responsibility on the aircraft is to check the pre-flight serviceability of the aircraft, and during the flight I assist the pilot in operating the certain auxiliary systems and give the technical advice in case of any emergency exist during the flight and land back to the nearest airfield.
All right, thank you very much, Wasim. That is a very difficult job. Now, another personnel from the aircraft, would you introduce yourself and give us a brief overview of your responsibilities in the airplane?
Sure, sir. I am Chief Technician Munib Iqbal, and I am Load Master on this C-130 aircraft. The basic role and task of a Load Master is to supervise safe loading and offloading procedures on C-130 aircraft, and to maintain weight and balance condition of C-130 aircraft throughout the mission.
All right. Thank you very much, Munib.
Thank you, sir.
I've now been joined by the Flight Commander Operations, who's of the number 6 Squadron. We try to understand and talk to him about his different missions that entail and what are his responsibilities as well.
Umar, I'm really sorry. I have to cut you short because there has been a requirement from Air Headquarters. We have been tasked to drop supplies to the army troops that are deployed at the Siachen Glacier. So I would invite you on the mission. Why don't you join us, and let's take the first-hand experience of the Paju drop, and we can have the rest of the talking during the flight.
All right, sir.
Please.
Every day that I We are in the midst of our flight for a Paju drop. Let's ask him what a Paju drop is all about and what his job responsibility is in the Squadron number 6. Thank you very much to have given us the time. We know that you're in the midst, and in fact we are in the midst of this flight for a Paju drop. First of all, tell us, what is a Paju drop?
Assalamu alaikum. I am Wing Commander Arif. I am Flight Commander Operations number 6 ATS Squadron. Basic role of number 6 ATS Squadron is to provide logistic and air transport support to Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Army and Pakistan Navy, both in war and in peace. Right now, as you can see, we are going for the Paju drop mission, which is in support of the troops of Pakistan Army, which are deployed at Siachen Glacier, which is one of the highest world war zone, the highest war zone in the world. And similarly, Paju drop zone is the highest drop zone in the world, and we are going to show you the drops that we are going to release some load in support of these troops at around 12,000 feet from above mean sea level. Since we will be dropping this load at a very high altitude, so all the crew is going to be on oxygen so that the crew does not get hypoxic. The Paju drop is actually it started in 1989 during the Siachen conflict. Once the Pakistan Army troops, once they were deployed at Siachen, they had these difficulty in it was difficult to provide them with the logistic support and the supplies and the medicine through the normal means, by road and through other means. Because of the treacherous and hilly terrain that we all know about Siachen Glacier. So Pakistan Air Force was tasked, and since number 6 Squadron is the primary responsible for giving this air transport support, so the drop zone was selected by the pilots of Pakistan Air Force and number 6 Squadron. A drop zone was selected, and a drop pattern was calculated. So since then, we are regularly giving supplies and airdrops to Pakistan Army in the Siachen Glacier.
When it comes to doing page drops, how much are people like yourself trained before you actually go to one?
Well, Peju is the most difficult mission for any transport pilot, which is serving number 6 ATS Corn. So the most experienced and senior aircrew who are trained for these missions, they undergo very rigorous training before undertaking these drops. And like you can see, I am the flight commander operations and I am conducting this mission. So similarly, very experienced pilots, they have an experience and a training of almost 10 to 12 years once they are cleared for these drops. Because of the difficult terrain, we'll show you that we'll be in the valley. The height would be very less. The weather is very unpredictable, and maneuvering the aircraft in under those circumstances in such close proximity of high terrain, the mountains would be actually above us. So we will be like flying inside the valley. The drop zone is there, so that is why a very experienced pilot is required to undertake these operations. And the pinpoint accuracy that is required for this drop, that is why the most experienced pilots are scheduled for this.
You talk of pinpoint accuracy. Now, what about in case of treacherous weather conditions? What happens in those cases? Do you have to revert back to your station, or you kind of circle around till the weather becomes better and then you do the drop?
Before undertaking this mission, the weather is studied in detail at all levels. We are in close coordination with the Meteorology Department of Pakistan Air Force. They are guiding us and they are briefing us on the weathers. And once we are satisfied that the weather is fit to fly such kind of missions, only then the mission takes off. But still, since the northern area weather, it is very unpredictable and you cannot have 100% forecast of the weather. So there are times that it happens that the weather, once we are taking off from this place, the weather is fit for the mission. But once you reach overhead the drop zone, you encounter certain conditions which the pilot in command has to decide that whether it is fit for the drop or not. So in that case, it is his responsibility to decide whether he has to hold for some time. If he thinks that the weather is going to get better in a while, then he can hold, circle around at that place and then give the drop, and after successful completion of the mission he can come back. But at times, if he deems necessary that the weather is unfit for the drop and it is not safe to do so, then obviously the mission is aborted and the aircraft comes back to the base.
All right, Arif Khan Sahab, thank you so very much. I know you have to continue your mission. We just took some time off. Thank you so very much, and please continue with your mission. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
That was Wing Commander Arif Khan, and we are on a Peju drop mission, one of the very essential missions of the number 6 Squadron of the Pakistan Air Force. Stay tuned right here on PT World. The cross-Atlantic flight landed, and in my background are the pilots that are coming out. Let's ask them which mission they have been to. Assalamu alaikum ji.
Salam.
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us which mission you were on to?
I'm just coming back from a foreign flight from Paris.
And what did this flight entail? What was your mission during this flight?
The main purpose of this mission, we were coming back from France with an engine of Mirage.
All right, Nadeem Saab, apart from that, you've got other missions as well that include humanitarian missions. What are the kind of missions that the number 6 Squadron participates in, and how does it all happen?
If we talk about the Pakistan Air Force and number 6 Squadron in particulars, we undertook the missions whenever the situation arises outside the Pakistan, such as if there is any flood relief, any flood activity outside the country or within the country, we used to undertake those missions. Such that earlier, 2-3 years back, we had the earthquake within Afghanistan, in Kathmandu, in Nepal, and thereafter flood in Sri Lanka. We undertook their missions. We used to fly with the NDMA, and we took the support equipment that includes the medicine, tents, and the other things to those countries.
All right. So Nadeem Saab, this is something that the number 6 Squadron does on a very regular basis in case of a demand.
Yes, sir. Whenever the situation arises, we are there to support not only the Pakistan but also the friendly nations outside the Pakistan.
All right, young man, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I'm Flying Officer Ranza from number 6 Squadron, and I was accompanying Sir Nadeem on a flight back from Paris.
All right. You're also known as Globetrotters. Is that the reason why?
Yes, that's what we do. We go around the world taking things and bringing them back.
How does it feel being an ambassador for Pakistan when you go on such missions?
It's a big responsibility. We have to give our best. We have to put up a good image of Pakistan Air Force.
All right. I've heard that not only internationally, but you also conduct such missions, maintenance missions nationally. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, we do various roles. C-130 provides various roles. We do search and rescue, surveillance. Other than that, we provide logistics. For example, maintenance within the country. For example, if an aircraft needs maintenance in the south, in Karachi, we are the ones who bring the engine from the south to the north for maintenance. So most of the Pakistan Air Force operations are very much relying on us, on how we perform.
And finally, Anza, you're the second generation of pilots. Your father was a Shaheed. How does it feel carrying out that legacy, carrying on with that legacy?
I feel great pride, sir. Great pride. He served the same squadron, he flew the same plane, and now I'm flying the same planes.
All right, wishing you all the very best, Anza.
Thank you, sir.
There seems to be some kind of a briefing going on here. Let's ask what it's all about. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Kaise?
Assalamu alaikum. Could you introduce yourself and tell us what kind of briefing you're giving to your associate?
I'm Squadron Imran from number 6 Squadron, and we are proceeding for Northern Area mission to support our army sister forces. The deployment of unit is being carried out.
All right. What is all of this mission about?
This is basically full support that is being given to army and other forces and the other relief operations that we can carry. So I'm briefing my co-pilot Flight Ammar that it's his first mission that he's proceeding for Gilgit support mission.
All right. Ammar, this is your first mission, as Imran Sahib has said. How do you feel about it?
Yes, it is my first mission, and I feel very excited because there is always so much to learn about in these kind of missions. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I've prepared also. So let's see.
How much of a preparation is required on a first mission?
Usually, when not in flying, in normal life, whenever you do a thing for the first time, a lot of preparation is normally required.
That is normal.
And the same is for flying. So I usually sat last evening for this, and around 3 to 4 hours I had to give to this so that I could prepare this mission. And now again sir is briefing me, so it is still going on.
You were talking about Gilgit and the terrain. It's quite a high terrain. Do you keep in mind also the met conditions as far as other eventualities that could happen?
Definitely, because of high terrain, cloud buildups, especially cumulus type of clouds, that is really dangerous. So with the high terrains and cloud building ups, it's really difficult task to carry out operations in northern area. So that's why at just 5 o'clock in the morning we are proceeding for, so that there should not be any convective activity that should hinder our operations. So that's why we start up early and get back early.
And finally, sir, I'll leave you with your briefing. But these support missions that you undergo for the army or for the navy or for other individuals, does this happen on a very regular level?
Yes, sir, definitely, because we are all operating in coordination with each other. So as for Pakistan Air Force, we have to support our all other sister forces. So that is carrying out through 24 hours a day. Every time they need us, we'll be there.
Thank you very much, Imran sir.
Thank you, sir.
And Amar, all the very best on your first mission. Thank you. Well, we were here on a little briefing mission of the squadron number 6. Let's move on and find out what other missions the squadron number 6 undergoes. Of all the different missions that we have interviewed during this day-long visit of the number 6 squadron, one that we did not manage was the engineering section, and here I can see 3 engineers talking in front of a C-130. Let's try to talk to them, ask them what are their missions, their objectives and their vision, and what are the different responsibilities that they have. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
I think your name is Hassan.
Sir, Hassan Siddiq, sir.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. What's your good name, ma'am?
Flying Officer Maria.
And what's your good name, sir?
Squadron Leader Umar.
All right. Now, Hassan, introduce us a little bit to the engineering section of the squadron number 6.
Sir, we 3 are from the engineering branch of Pakistan Air Force. And sir, we are performing our duties as an engineering officer with number 6 squadron of Pakistan Air Force. And sir, as an engineering officer, we have to look after the inspections and all the work which is going over with 730 aircraft. And sir, we have to supervise everything. Like we have to maintain the aircraft because they are a bit old aircraft, and we have to maintain them and we have to keep them updated according to the standards which are being used by other forces, air forces of the world. And we have to ensure the timely maintenance and safe operations of 730 fleet. And sir, the 730 aircraft, it flies 24 hours, and we are here at 3 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning. And this aircraft can do all types of flights. Like it can do paratrooping, it can do cargo, it can do passenger, it can do as a passenger flight. Sir, and let me tell you something about this aircraft. This is one of the most reliable aircrafts in the world, and around 64 air forces in the world are using C-130s right now.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Now, Flight Officer Myra, you're of course from the engineering section as well. How much of regular maintenance is required on a C-130?
C-130 requires 24/7 maintenance. As Sir Hassan told, that C-130s are being used for paratrooping missions, they are being used for the cargo missions. So there is 24/7 need for the C-130 mission for the Air Force, and even we are performing missions for the Pakistan Army, which are in Siachen and in the Gilgit side.
All right. Speaking of maintenance services, refueling is also one of the very important aspects of it. A huge aircraft like the C-130 needs a lot of fuel and a lot of time to refuel it. Is that also part of your responsibilities?
Yes, it is part of my responsibility, and EU has to be there whenever the fueling or servicing is being carried out. Even the fueling and servicing is carried out at night.
All right. Thank you very much, Maria. Umair, how much of training do you need before you properly enter the engineering section and undertake all these procedures that you do on the C-130s?
Initially, when an engineering officer is inducted in Air Force, it gets its training completed from College of Aeronautical Engineering, Risalpur. It's a 4-year degree program where we are taught about the different performance parameters of aircraft and different maneuvers and other things of aircraft. After that, when an officer reports at the base, then there is a training curriculum which is planned for an officer. It is around 6 months of exclusive training, day and night training, which an officer carried out with the men. He's detailed on the aircraft in the morning, and he looks after all the activities of the aircraft, and he learns as well, and he even motivates and teaches the engineering side to his counterparts which are working on the aircraft. So the training curriculum of engineering officer is very mandatory, and it is a very detailed one.
All right. Being mandatory and detailed, of course, is very important. But here we are also in the month of September. The 7th of September is the Air Force Day as well. How proud do you feel being part of the Pakistan Air Force that lends its support and that is on the forefront and safeguards the Pakistani nation, safeguards the Pakistani people?
As an Air Force officer, I am very much proud. It was my dream to join Air Force and serve my motherland and to give my services to this country, which is giving me a lot, which is giving my family a lot. So it's really a dream come true, and I am highly motivated. And any given day, my motherland calls, I am ready to fight and to shed my life for this great country, Pakistan.
All right, thank you very much, Umair. So that was the engineering section of the Squadron number 6 of the Pakistan Air Force. While we were about to leave, we were told that one of the pilots was about to leave on a mission that entailed the use of what we call the night vision goggles. That interested me and I wanted to know more. So we entered the aircraft and we are with the pilot to know more about how they use the night vision goggles in their different missions. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir.
Would you kindly introduce yourself, sir, and tell us a little bit about your mission?
Sir, I'm Flight Lieutenant Ali, sir, from number 6 squadron, sir. Sir, we are about to proceed on a night vision mission towards Skardu, sir. This is, the night vision goggles are basically used in the night operations, sir, and to avoid all the mountainous terrain and everything, sir. It is a very demanding mission. For that, you have to prepare the mission thoroughly, sir. After that, for the execution, we need the night vision goggles to look outside, and it is just like you are flying in the day with a few other notions, because the mountains are not quite visual during the night, so we have to see through the night vision goggles, and that would help us to avoid all the mountains and land in Skardu.
All right. What is the basic distance to which you can see with the help of night vision goggles during pitch dark?
The basic concept is, sir, that you can see infinity in the night vision goggles, sir, but to the limit which you can make out the things, that would be defined by the focus and all the adjustments of the night vision goggles, sir.
All right, so this means that it's very important in all the missions that are undertaken during the night time.
During the night, sir, all tactical missions, they require the use of NVGs. So Pakistan Air Force and the C-130 crew are fully capable of operating during the night, and we are capable of landing in Skardu and proceeding to Peju for the Peju drops.
All right. Flight Lieutenant Ali Abbas, would you kindly show us a demonstration of these night vision goggles?
So once you mount the headset, sir, then you can put the NVGs down. After that, you can put the NVGs on, and after that, the NVG is working, sir. Now to look inside the aircraft, I can use my normal eyes, and I'm looking down towards the instruments and all the panels, sir. But to look outside, sir, I'll be using the NVGs, sir.
All right, thank you so very much. I won't take much of your time, and I wish you a very safe and successful mission.
Thank you so much, sir.
And thus ends our very interesting and informative session and day at the number 6 Squadron of the Noor Khan Air Base, the air base that never sleeps. As Iqbal said, Meri rasai se na bahar hai koi manzil. Nothing is beyond our reach. This is what I gather when I meet the different members of the sections and missions of the number 6 Squadron. Nothing is beyond their reach. As I quote, to many people, sky is the limit. To those who love aviation, the sky is home. Take care of yourselves and Allah Hafiz. And I'll see you next week with a very new episode of Sky is the Limit.